Social media, love it or hate it, there's no getting away from the fact that it has a huge influence on adults and children alike. I am definitely guilty of mindlessly scrolling through Instagram and Facebook every day without fail. And whilst this is a massive waste of life, I am very aware of what damage these sites can do, but I also know how to keep myself safe online. But how can you, as educators, keep your children safe online? Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from My Progression, and this video is about how to talk to children about social media. Let's start with your responsibility. Who can control what a child is doing on the internet? It's the parents, right? Whilst the ultimate responsibility does lie with the parents, you also have a duty to protect the children in your care. And whilst you can't set the parental controls on their iPad, you can educate them on how to be safe online. It probably goes without saying that all school technology should be locked down and limit access to any websites that are inappropriate. But it's worth checking the policy to see what it is that you need to check. So what's the risk? There are many risks to children using social media. And this is why many platforms have an age restriction. Not that that stops the children from setting up profiles. But here are the top 5 risks to children online. Number 1, cyberbullying. Social media is the ultimate digital playground for bullies. Behind a computer, every child is nameless and faceless, so they're not as accountable for their actions as they would normally be in the real world. This gives them the reckless fearlessness of speaking their mind without thinking of the consequences, which in this case is hurting other children. Cyberbullying may refer to name-calling, threatening, blackmailing, spreading rumours, impersonating for mockery, or exclusion from peer groups. It's easy to underestimate the impact that cyberbullying has on a child. You may assume that just because it doesn't exist in a physical form, it doesn't have the repercussions that real-life playground bullying does. But statistics from 2022 say that 1 in 5 children between the age of 10 and 15 in England and Wales experienced at least one form of cyberbullying. Up to 70% of children who experienced cyberbullying said that the perpetrator or perpetrators were people from their school. So this is something you should be on high alert for. There have been many instances of children who've taken their own lives due to cyberbullying. They can feel like they have no escape from it. It follows them home and it's relentless. Amanda Todd, a 15-year-old, was driven to suicide after she was repeatedly blackmailed and bullied on social media. She was tricked into exposing her chest over a webcam, and then the photos were circulated around her school. She uploaded a heartbreaking video about her experiences just before her death. Online gaming has a serious reputation for being rife with cyberbullying. 70% of young people under the age of 18 play video games. When players are anonymous, it can be difficult to hold them accountable when they bully others and use the game as a tool of harassment. Some players may use the game as a means to harass others to get their personal information like usernames and passwords. Cyberbullying has a serious impact on a child's mental well-being. The effect manifests themselves into moodiness, anxiety, depression, and in extreme cases, even suicide. Number 2, digital kidnapping. Digital kidnapping is similar to identity theft. This is where someone steals pictures and information about someone else and then posts them as if they are them. Sometimes this is used to catfish people into dating them, or it's used to embarrass or extort. The most common perpetrators of digital kidnapping are usually young girls between the ages of 13 to 16. Now, I've heard a lot of horrible examples of people setting up profiles for the sole purpose of bullying a classmate. They add all of their friends and then post updates and pictures mocking the person. It's really cruel and it's time consuming. Number 3, online predators. They come in many different forms and affect children in various ways. They'll usually pretend to be someone else or anonymous. They primarily approach children on social media for financial exploitation or for sexual solicitation. Something sinister that's fairly common in most cases like these is that online predators are patient. These adults prey on children that are emotionally vulnerable or feel alienated in their own homes. They know all the times a child is online, they find ways to relate to them and take their time establishing a bond with them. They groom the children before manipulating them into exploitation. Social media is a great way of connecting people, but every once in a while, that luxury can turn against you. Number 4, oversharing. One of the biggest social media devils, especially when it comes to teenagers, is oversharing. Kids have a tendency to post about every waking minute of their lives. They'll tell you exactly where they're having lunch with their friends, on the map, with the exact coordinates as well. They'll show off when they've bought something new, and to top it all off, they'll post about all their quirks and undertakings throughout the day. Now, this seems harmless enough on the surface, but when you dig deeper, you'll realise the various privacy issues that actually lie within. Most social media websites are still dealing with privacy concerns. When you post something on Instagram, it becomes property of the website. So if the pictures are reposted, shared, or stolen, you'll have no way to stop it. Your audience on social media is much bigger than you think. And finally, number 5, inappropriate content. Because of the general age restrictions of getting on certain sites, the ease of actually getting around the rules, and the billions of posts on all platforms, the likelihood of seeing inappropriate content online is pretty much a given. The lines of what can and can't be posted are so blurred, you'll surely come across some content you might not like or wouldn't want children to see. Themes of violence, nudity, politics, and pornography are common on all of these platforms. This is actually where tools like parental control apps come in handy. Google Family Link is a great example, and we linked some other options in the description below. These apps do a good job at blocking the inappropriate content and keeping the parent informed about the child's online activities. Now, TikTok is one platform where you're very likely to see inappropriate content. Even if you set your own account to private, you may still be exposed to sexual or violent content posted on the public feed. Now, this can range from overtly sexual TikToks to physically dangerous stunts that kids may want to recreate, to overtly racist and discriminatory commentary, and there is a wide range of concerning content on the platform. The stupid and dangerous stunts that children are encouraged to do make this app really concerning. The blackout challenge is especially dangerous and has been linked to many young people's deaths. We've focused a lot of this video on the dangers of social media in terms of safeguarding. Actually, there's a lot more to it. Children and young people are very easily influenced. And when you think about the lifestyles that a lot of people portray online, this can be quite damaging to a child's mental and physical health. Seeing endless photoshopped images of the Kardashians has led to unhealthy attitudes towards body image. Hearing people like Andrew Tate talking about women in extremely derogatory and misogynistic terms can lead to young males actually buying into that Taliban-esque rhetoric. There is a lot of pressure on children to have loads of followers or friends on social media. It can really highlight if someone doesn't have the strongest social skills, or it can make some children value the online friendships over the real ones they actually have. Trolls. Honestly, I cannot understand the logic behind finding enjoyment in causing other people misery, but some people actually choose to be a troll. There have been many people in the public eye, particularly reality stars, who've spoken out about the relentless trolling they receive online. it's actually led to people taking their own lives. So what can you do? It's a scary online world. The first thing you can do is be aware of what can happen online. So you've watched this video and we've highlighted some of these. Be vigilant. If you hear something that doesn't sound right, ask about it. If a child makes a disclosure to you, report it straight to the DSO. The next thing you can do is essentially your job. Educate them on what social media is like and what to look out for. There are some dangerous people on the internet and they need to know what they should and shouldn't do. Discuss how the algorithm works and its tendency to recommend emotive and reactive content. Just because a video is being pushed to your feed by automated systems on social media, it doesn't mean you have to agree with it or even like what you're seeing. Encourage them to question everything they're seeing online and where it's come from, especially when it feels like it's deliberately being pushed to them. A lot of articles and videos will have misleading titles or headlines that encourage you to click on and read or watch. This is called clickbait. I actually saw one the other day that said Jennifer Lawrence really struggled to work with Jonah Hill on the set of Don't Look Up. The article is actually about how funny he was and she couldn't stop laughing when they were filming. But the comment section is then filled with people taking a swipe at Jennifer or Jonah when they clearly didn't read the article. So this is just one of the ways that misinformation is spread on the internet. Keeping children safe is the bare minimum of your role as an educator. Making sure they can look after themselves when they're not in your care is a big part of that. As I said before, education is key. Teach them how to be safe and ensure you're listening out for any signs of something that just isn't right. Just a reminder to like, subscribe and click on the bell to keep seeing more from My Progression. I've been Natalie from My Progression and I hope you found this video on social media useful. Check out the rest of our channel for more on working in education. And let's keep your career in motion.